What's going on, ladies and gents? It is the Joe Cronin Show, but it's not Joe Cronin. It is the one, the only Jake DeMarco. We have a new WWE champion in the house. That's right, Raw was kind of a hot mess, but hopefully we can break it down tonight and have some fun. If you do want to support, you have to use Super Chats down below, and I'm going to go ahead and hit my intro because I can do that. Let's have some fun, guys. It's the Raw Review. We have a new...
You can use it!
Alright. We are live. That's right, ladies and gents. Welcome to the Joe Cronin Show Raw Review. We are here, and mind any hiccups. Let me know if things don't sound right, don't seem right. But let's go ahead and let's get Bobby Lashley to take off my face here. Thank you. That'll be a little bit better, Bobby. You are the WWE champion. We want to give you as much credit, but wow, what an ending to the show. I'm kind of blown away by what they did here. I figured Bobby would be a champ, but I figured they would wait till Fastlane. Sell this more, go ahead and really make this something special, but there's quite a bit to discuss tonight. Quite a bit to break down. We've got a lot of you in the chat, so thank you guys for tuning in. Bear with me. It's actually tomorrow's 1 year that I had the weight loss surgery, so I'm going to go ahead and we'll talk about that later in the night. Joe wishes he could be here. He's dealing with some family stuff, and thankfully he's giving me the reins tonight because we have a new WWE champion, and we could not be live for this Raw review. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Thank you guys. Bear with me. It'll be a little bit of a, different, flow of things, but I got to get used to everything that's happening here. It'll, we'll see as we go along, but let's see. First off, can I get donations to work? Can I get the alerts to play?
Duncachino?
Look at that!
What's my name? Duncachino. It's a whole new game. Duncachino. You want
it works here.
I'm your friend. Say hello to my
and there's the chat.
Sup Joe, have you listened to the Kurt Angle podcast? They recently talk about his match with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 21. I recommend it.
I have not seen that yet. I've not listened to the Kurt Angle podcast. But ADTR is now the top person to donate so far. So thank you so much, ADTR. In a few minutes, we are going to go ahead. I wanted to make sure that everything was working, running, and functioning. So if you guys want to go ahead and support, you can do so. Super Chats down below. Thank you to all the mods that are helping out as well. I appreciate it greatly. So, yeah, Raw was kind of off to an interesting start tonight. I'm happy that we got to see Drew pretty much right away. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Drew. I still wish he was the WWE champion. And we got Shell chiming in. Here we go.
Yes. Jake's sexy Raw review. Raw sucked 3 out of 10.
Thank you, Shell, so very much. And, I'm not sure where I'm at yet for a score, but I'm kind of all over the place, honestly. I was really happy with what they gave us with that Drew McIntyre match. That was an incredible match with no real build, no stakes, no purpose. Sheamus turned on him for essentially no reason still to this day. He lost out in a WWE title match by turning on Drew, got thrown into the chamber instead. But they had a 22, almost 23-minute match. That was stellar. It was a hell of a match. I mean, that Future Shock DDT near fall, I thought that was going to finish the match. I thought they were going to change things up and not end it with a Claymore. I mean, we saw some great, superplex moments off the top ropes. These two beat the living hell out of each other for the entire duration of their match. Like I said, there was one point Sheamus hit the white noise backbreaker, and I'm like, oh, Drew's not the champion. He's possibly going to lose here. That's how much I got into this and believed in near falls. The cloverleaf looked great, and then he hits the white noise again for the ropes, and I'm like, oh, this second time, I don't know if he can kick out of this. Hits a big Alabama slam, and then gets, he's like, all right, I'm going to set up for the bro kick, and they have one of the best endings I've seen in a while. So creative. They are going essentially for each of their own finishers. So Sheamus is going for the bro kick, and we have McIntyre beating him by seconds, mere milliseconds, with the Claymore kick to score the pin and get the clean victory here. This should have been at Fastlane. This was incredible. This could have even been a WrestleMania moment with a match with these type of false finishes. I am really all about this. I really genuinely thought that this was, super exciting, and that's Joe in the chat, not me. You can tell by the spelling, but I appreciate Joe letting me go ahead and handle things while he's dealing with some family stuff. Thank you so much. But with all the false finishes, the camaraderie that these two had at one point to just break away and cast out their friendship for nothing seemed silly when they tried to invest so much into them being these lifelong friends and mates. Unfortunately, that wasn't the case, but disappointing in the sense of the story. Where do we go from here? I don't really know. Does Drew get his chance to take out Bobby Lashley? That's what I'm hoping for. But they kind of messed up some things tonight by making Bobby Lashley look sympathetic and like a face with that victory tonight. But essentially, he got one up on The Miz, but you wanted Bobby Lashley to be the evil heel champ. Or else, what was the point of Lashley just not beating Drew already and having a rematch at Mania? It's silly to have a transitional champ in The Miz. If you're going to get it off of one person to another, all right, but don't do it in this way where you have Miz keep trying to escape over and over and over again. I feel like that just made, we always deal with the chicken heels, and unfortunately it's not that interesting. Everyone has to be either the bumbling idiot of a face that, looks at adversity and deals with it constantly, or we have to go ahead and deal with the chicken shit heels who just, can't face anything. It's ridiculous at this point. Let's go ahead and see what a few other people have to say. They're going to go ahead and chime in. Spaz Phoenix from the Spaz Phoenix podcast.
Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. 'Cause Karen's our shit.
Cheap plug in the house. Hold the place up, sexy Jake. What's the no spiker name? Dusty Road.
Thank you, Spaz Phoenix, the one, the only.
Fuck Karen, suck my dick.
Eddie chiming in next.
Fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. 'Cause Karen's our shit.
It looked like Bobby was a face.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the problem that I was really hinting at the end there. They were making it seem like he was this big, triumphant, victorious face. And I don't know why they're trying to present him in such a way. You had the entire authority of Shane and Adam Pearce going after Bobby Lashley the entire time by protecting him, or going after the Miz, by protecting Bobby Lashley. If Miz doesn't defend it, we're going to strip him and we're going to give the title to Bobby. And, so you didn't really have that threat. It seemed like they were going after the Miz, yeah, but with him acting afraid the whole time, it took away any sympathy you could have got from the Miz. If he was legitimately injured and then a fighting champ, it'd be a different story. Had he gotten injured last week and then not want to go on with it, there's so many different ways they could have pulled this off, but they have time still till Mania, even through till Fastlane, to make Bobby Lashley that much more of a credible champion. I'm excited that he's the champ, though. He certainly deserves it. He's had some great stellar runs before in different, different companies entirely. So if we care to bring that up, let's see. We got a few more people chiming in. Don't want to get too far behind here. So Randy Viper chiming in as well.
Suck my dick and fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick and fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. 'Cause Karen's our shit.
Daddy Jake DeMarco takeover sing happy B-Day for Drew.
I will definitely have to try and get Drew on here later. I know he's been eating delicious dinner and drinking and having a party. So happy birthday again, Drew, and thank you, Randy Viper. Soundwave 92 taking over the top spot here. Thank you, Soundwave.
Fuck Karen, suck my dick and fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick and fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. 'Cause Karen's our shit.
A solo Jake show? Now I am turned on, banana. Raw was 4/10. Drew vs Sheamus was a banger match too. But I am glad they gave Bobby the championship, but I really don't want him to be a transitional champion.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want him to be a transitional champion and just see him lose it to Drew either. But there's the big part of me that wants Drew to get that WrestleMania win in front of fans as to where he didn't get it last year. So I'm very, very, very conflicted. And at this time, I'm not sure where my heart lies. I'm really excited that Bobby Lashley is the champion. He looks so dominant. I wish they didn't have to have a lumberjack match to get there. They went through all these hurdles and hoops for nothing. Having the Miz go ahead and try and escape all night. Why? Because he knew he would lose? Well, I guess he was trying to get away from the inevitable, but I would have rather seen Miz go down swinging and really try and put up a fight than run away the entire night. At least then we would respect him. He had, if he already knew he was and had no chance, why continue try and run away? At that point, step up, fight. But at least Lashley looks, like $1 million and kind of like a good guy in this as well. So we'll see what happens going further. But I got to tell Joe, it's too many Karen donations. It's not you guys. we gotta work on these settings. But 27 Freddie Mitchell signing in. Thank you so much. Let's see.
And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. 'Cause Karen's our shit.
MVP on a cane is Lashley. Good luck charm lol. When Lashley won in Impact, MVP was on a cane.
Yeah, I mean, he was on crutches and a cane then, and now again he's went from crutches to a cane, so can't beat that. We got Danielson chiming in as well now. Thank you.
Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. 'Cause Karen's our shit.
His title run pointless unless a three-way mania.
I mean, yeah, it kind of seems like this was just a pointless run for him to build up his stock a little bit with the USA audience before his reality show comes back out. I guess he kind of got a few, points for that, and just to say, hey, I was the WWE champion again. They wanted me to do something, but that's it. I don't see Miz doing anything with the WWE title picture at Mania. They had to get rid of the briefcase. They booked themselves in a corner by having him lose it, then get it back. I think they just wanted to reset, so they got the title onto Bobby Lashley. That was their goal, and from there, everything else seems to be, heading towards Mania. Bobby, will be the champion, and then Bad Bunny is likely going to team with Damian Priest still undefeated on Raw, doing well with him, and he'll go ahead and take on Miz and Morrison. So it seems like that kind of plan is working out. There's reports saying that, Vince is upset and now not telling any talent what's going on. That he wants to go ahead and have all creative ideas, stay with creative and not be told till, the time of for talent. So no one has any idea what they're doing allegedly at this point in time. So everyone's upset and stressed and worried and concerned, all because Vince allegedly was upset that Wrestlemania main event of Roman Reigns versus Edge was spoiled. Not so much that it was spoiled. I mean, had we not known Edge was going to be able to come back and wrestle or, but realistically, once he won the Rumble, you had two choices, Drew or Roman. So you can't get mad, Vince. I mean, 3 if you count Finn, but I really highly doubted he was going to NXT. It's just sad that the entire roster has to go ahead and, pay for simple, educated guesses. But that's where we are at this current point in time. We got another Karen coming in from Spaz Phoenix. Let's see what he has to say.
Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. 'Cause Karen's our shit.
Whatever they do with Ripley, Charlotte and Asuka will be better than Smackdown. I'll enjoy my cock in a toaster more than Trasher versus the Ring Rat.
Sadly, at this point, I don't know what they're going to do with Rhea Ripley, but we'll see. Thank you, Spaz. Randy Viper chiming back in as well. Got to find a way to shorten this donation. I'm looking, chat.
Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. 'Cause Karen's our shit.
It'll be Lashley versus Lesnar, Jake.
Yeah, that really seems, like one of the possible angles that people are really, kind of touting. I'm just not positive we're going to see Lesnar. I'm not so sure. I mean, anything's possible. Never say never with WWE. That's something we have certainly learned, but I'm not positive we're going to see Brock Lesnar for this year. I know Vince would love to have him, but we got to see if the money's right. And AEW is apparently throwing money everywhere. As we saw Paul White heading there, I'm still curious to see how much they paid for him. By the time Out of Nowhere comes out this week, hopefully we'll have more information on that. That'll be Thursday this week on the Joe Cronin Show. You guys can also support Joe as he puts out 30 extra hours of bonus content every month on his Patreon. Different tiers for different support systems. We have some great $25 supporters as well. Those are all the producers that help keep this channel going. So if you'd like to support, you can check out patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Go ahead and get yourself some extra content like the Jake and Joe podcast, which another episode will be up this week before Friday as well. And just so you guys know, Joe will be back Wednesday night for the AEW review, and I will be celebrating as well, so I'll make sure to be good and toasty for that night. We're going to have a blast. Huge night. That's the night that Shaq is competing. Paul White's going to make his debut, so, Big White. I'm excited, but it should be a good night, and I'm very excited. Joe will be back then, guys, so don't stress, don't worry. He'll be back, but this is just a one-off. But thank you for being so kind and supportive while I'm taking over the channel tonight. Jake Hudson, new sponsor. Thank you, Jake, for going ahead and sponsoring the show. Joe, what is that gif? Dear God. Never ceases to amaze me. We got some more donations coming through the line as well, so we'll get those coming in while we go ahead and continue to review Raw. And if you guys want to go ahead and be on the show, chit-chat with me in a little bit, I'm going to go on a Discord. Head into the on-hold section on the Discord, and, we'll go ahead and have a bit of a conversation towards the end. So once we get through a bit more Raw, we'll go ahead and head that way. It'll be fun. So I want to get a few people on. Now we got to hear from AJ Adams in the meantime.
Suck my dick and fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick and fuck cancel culture.
Congrats Bobby and Mick Elsie is a handicapped bum.
Jesus. Thank you, AJ Adams. Never cease to amaze me. There's a lot here, so we're just going to let these kind of continue chiming through. I wish there was a way to... Let me see if I can turn this down on my end, but... There we go. I'll lower the notification for now while we got that. I'm still learning. Work with me. I appreciate it. Nazmul Hussein went ahead and did a 99-cent super chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. So what I'll do is I'll lower it here, and I'll keep it normal on the dono page. Genius. Look at that. We're learning. We're growing. It's going to be loud again. Karen's. No message there. All right, so when we get on this screen, it'll be quiet. I got it. We're doing better. Thank you, chat, for dealing with me. You guys are great. We'll get there eventually. So, yeah, we go ahead. We get through the amazing Sheamus and Drew McIntyre match.
It's a whole new game. Duncachino. You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
I wish we would get Bobby versus Brock at WrestleMania.
Well, you know, Corbin, it kind of sounds like that's what's going to be happening. According to a few people in the chat, I mean, if that's legitimately the case, then that's an exciting match. That's a dream match that everyone has wanted for a long time. Everyone has wanted to see Bobby Lashley take on the Beast incarnate himself, Brock Lesnar. And if Brock returns, I mean, there's a bit of a, where does Paul Heyman's allegiance lie? That's kind of a wild X factor, too, that I think they should play up. Even if you're not going to have Roman and Brock feud at this point, you don't even have to set up a match. But just have Brock say something like, oh, you know, you took my title before, now you take my manager, that kind of thing. So it just starts something. It's so silly to avoid that. But, you know, it's something I really hope they pay attention to if he does return. You know, keep some continuity. So, yeah, Drew, Sheamus, great match. Loved what they did there. Next, we get the countdown clock showing. We got just a little bit of time left, less than half an hour for the WWE Championship match, which, as we inevitably know, gets delayed to the end of the night. I actually didn't mind them hooking us hourly to get back to the match. Had they just had Miz be injured and not trying to get out of it so much, I would have preferred it. But I don't mind them trying to keep viewers till the end of the show and the main event. That's okay in my book. Just be more creative about it. A lot of this just screeches lazy booking. Nia Jax with, of course, her partner Shayna Baszler take on Naomi with her partner Lana. It's a squash match. We see Nia use her hole in just superb fashion, dropping it right down and taunting in the meantime with a, one-arm slam to follow up and score the pin on Naomi. She just takes her to Pound Town and, Scissor Sisters her away to defeat. Now Lana checks on Naomi, but doesn't get attacked. Progress? I don't know, but, it just... I guess they're trying to build up Nia and Shayna still before they go ahead and have their match on NXT this Wednesday. Okay, but did Naomi need to be squashed like that? I don't believe so. Then they go ahead and they show a video about Rhea Ripley. And Rhea, I can't wait to see her debut. Hopefully it's before Mania. I'm telling you, I would like to see her do something and be utilized properly. But if it doesn't happen and they don't have a good story for her, then please wait till after Mania when you have something proper. That's really the goal. Jake Hudson's chiming in. We have another Karen donation. Thank you, Jake. So we'll keep this notification tuned down. After that, we get into our WWE Championship match. And brief delay, The Miz goes ahead and comes out. But, oh, wait, he's still backstage. He's feigning sick and that he's cramping up. And he's just not feeling well. He can't defend the title. He needs more time. So, of course, they're going to give him, 1 hour again. Even if Pierce has to carry him to the ring, he'll be there. And like I said, if you want to delay, have it be a legitimate injury, have something, be important that follows. But don't go ahead and make him constantly seem that weak. I mean, that's embarrassing for Miz, really, especially all the time that he's put in.
Understand why Braun Strowman make the fucking tag. He had the titles won. Why would he trust Adam Pearce who would lol? All he needed to do was not make the fucking tag. Braun is getting dumber and dumber.
Oh, Bagro, you brought this up ahead of time, but yeah, absolutely, we will get into this. I was... I can't even say astounded anymore. I'm not shocked. I'm not flabbergasted. It's not hard to fathom or imagine, but somehow each week they do continue to surprise me a little bit by how much they make Braun look like a total buffoon. They make this guy look like an idiot more and more as each time passes. It's surprising. I don't know how much more dumber he can get in my eyes, but amazingly, they just managed to dumb down his IQ each week that progresses. So thank you, WWE, for making your extremely chiseled and cut and, lean now monster look like a jackass. He has worked so hard to fine-tune his body into like a lethal machine. So damn impressive. Worked so hard for nothing. He has to look like a total asshole constantly. So embarrassing. 27, Freddie Mitchell chiming in. We'll switch over when it goes ahead and starts the text-to-speech, but poor Asuka being out of action, that had to hurt. I've had my front 2 teeth knocked out. I'm hiding my teeth, if you haven't noticed, behind the microphone constantly because my insurance sucks. And I was supposed to go this coming Thursday to get oral surgery done. Didn't get approved yet, so I got to wait, but this tooth's broken. Fun stuff. So instead of looking like a hillbilly, I just hide behind the microphone the whole time until I can get to the oral surgeon. That's what happens for vomiting all the time.
We all donating super chats cause Joe isn't here to run Streamlabs, but Lashley versus Brock is happening.
Oh, you're saying it's definitely happening. So if that's the case, Freddie Mitchell, I would be genuinely excited. So so long as they build it up right, I would be disappointed because in one sense, because what is Drew going to do if not going for the title? Hopefully they give him something special for Mania or make it a triple threat. Brock, Drew, and Bobby, I think could be good. Especially if Brock shows up and wants to, he wants to play, he wants to wrestle, he wants to try. If you get that Brock, that's a special kind of, appearance. I think it'll be good. Yeah, more oral, less surgery. You're right, Coot.
Bobby versus Brock Lesnar would be the biggest WrestleMania headline of the year, and it will get the greatest views over Smackdown.
Oh yeah, no doubt. That would bring in the audience. I really do believe. And E-Murder there tying the Soundwave 92, I believe. So I got to make sure I add him after the fact. Thank you, everyone that's chimed in so far. You guys have gone ahead and really, really supported this show greatly tonight, and I appreciate it more than you know. I wanted to prove to Joe that, hey, when you're not here, at least I can help out and keep the ship floating, especially when we have a new WWE champion. Still blown away by that. Congratulations, Bobby Lashley. Certainly deserves it, and is going to WrestleMania as the champion. I hate when they say, like, going to WrestleMania, but we still got one more pay-per-view, so I guess he's just not going to defend it then. But I do agree, Brock would he's not my favorite. Everybody knows that. But I do admit he is a box office draw and a huge attraction. But as I was saying, poor Asuka, she is not clear to compete after that kick to the face last week from Baszler. She went ahead and poor Shayna knocked her teeth out, and it did not look nice. At least they showed the injury this week. If you're going to be out and you have something that looks painful, show it so you make your superstars look, stronger than real life presents them to be. They say that the women's champion will definitely need a few weeks to heal, so we don't know how long she's going to be out of action for. Problem is, she's the women's champion, so it looks like they're going to skip Fastlane with her entirely, obviously, and go right into Mania. Thus what they were setting up tonight with Charlotte Flair. So now we get Braun Strowman in the ring. He's complaining about Shane and Adam Pearce, saying that, everybody's laughing at me and this is ridiculous. That's when Adam, and Shane try and go ahead and calm him down and say that, everything's just over your head, Braun. And they're still making fun of him, but he doesn't realize it all the time. And that, it wasn't Adam that booked your match. I did, Shane McMahon saying. And, you need to learn to work with WWE management. So the only way you can do that is if you're forced to do so. Stupid reasoning, again, making very little sense. And Strowman said that if Pierce screws him for the tag title shot that Shane set up, that he would get these hands. So awful promo from everybody involved here. Not a fun moment, not a fun segment. And, we've already seen Braun team up with a child before to win the tag titles. So if he's, with a former NWA champion, this is like a huge step up. This should be no problem. I don't know why he would have any issue, but as we see later on, we go ahead and we get the Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin coming out, and it should never be in this match in the first place, might I add, taking on Braun and Adam Pearce with Shane McMahon for the Raw Tag Team titles. Not a great match, honestly. The whole thing just was very lackluster. Simple 3 minutes, all to lead to the ending of Pearce being forced to tag in by Shane McMahon. Braun's being told, by Shane, go ahead, tag him in. And then Pearce gets caught in an inside cradle and gets rolled up, and look at that. They lose. So Braun is freaking out, and it's like, why? Why did you do any of this? You're making him the dumbest person on the entire roster. Braun had the titles won. There was no reason to tag anybody in. It's just foolish. It's pure nonsense. I don't get it. I don't understand what they're doing with Braun here. It's maddening. It's insulting to wrestling fans. Spaz Phoenix chiming in again. We'll go ahead and we'll hear what he has to say shortly. So, yeah, wishing Asuka well. That's unfortunate. Poor thing. Hopefully, having that oral surgery to replace her teeth and whatnot goes well, and she's able to return soon enough. Stinks if she is going to have to miss the pay-per-view. Surprisingly, we got a mini build tonight of Elias coming out and trying to say that he wants to work with Bad Bunny and their presence would be huge, and it basically devolves into them having a match. So we see Damian Priest defending Bad Bunny taking on Elias.
Paul and Shaq are gonna be tag champs as Salt and Pepper.
I thought it was Big White and Big Black, but I guess Salt and Pepper would be a little bit more PC than my name. But, hey, there we go. Thank you, Spaz Phoenix.
Don't mind if I do.
Oh.
What's my name?
Duncachino.
It's a whole new game.
Duncachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
Bobby Lashley will be defeated by Lacey Evans' baby fetus at WrestleMania. Too many Karen Dons. I might have to actually doink a bunch of Karens now.
Thank you, Metal Mastodon. I tried to lower the sound for those, so hopefully we can get through them together. But thank you so much for chiming in there with the Duncachino. So we had a pretty decent match here. Damian Priest looked great. Elias served, his role very well here. He went ahead and was just a sell machine. Made Damian Priest look like $1 million all the way through. I hate the name of his finisher being Hit the Lights now. Doesn't make sense, but we got Corwin Everly chiming in as well. But yeah, I like most of his moveset, the running elbow and leading into broken arrow. And I liked Jackson Riker, being distracting the entire time and kind of a nuisance. That's how a manager or partner should be. We don't see that enough. Bad Bunny really didn't play into the match, but I felt like this one wasn't too long. Some people felt like this match went on a little bit too lengthy. It was a little bit too lengthy. It was about 15 minutes, I believe, from bell to bell.
Skinny Jake looks like Phil Brooks.
Thank you, Corwin. I appreciate it. I'll take that as a certain compliment, all right? So, yeah, Damian Priest goes ahead, remains undefeated since he's been called up to the main roster, and he definitely needs a different name than Hit the Lights for his reverse rolling cutter crossroads finisher, but no, Cortez. Joe, Mark, guys, letting you know, Joe is not here tonight. Unfortunately, he's got some family stuff that he had to attend to, so I'm helping him out tonight. That's right. For one night only, it is the Jake Show. Going ahead and get to, support Joe best I can here and keep you guys entertained, hopefully, in the meantime. So, after that, we, saw a bit of a history package between The Miz and Lashley. We got more of the countdown clock and then heard that was going to be next. Then we get Randy Orton being interviewed by Kayla in the back. Some of this is okay. I didn't care for the Kayla part of the interview. Once Alexa got involved, I was a little bit more into it, but still, I'm curious where they're going with this. Obviously, it's all leading to Mania. Is it going to be another Firefly Funhouse match? Is Alexa going to be fighting? Is Orton going to be getting a partner? Are we going to see some type of intergender thing? Is that not it? But they did set up something very cool here, so I give them credit for trying something, and I think it came out well executed. They go ahead and, after the terrible interview by the robot Kayla herself, asking about the bizarre events that are increasing more and more around the arena, we see Alexa Bliss on the screen, and she's holding a box with a pentagram on it. It's like a little Jack-in-the-Box toy, and she's sitting in the middle of the room, and it's very eerie and ominous, and Kayla's there like, you should look at this. Worst acting ever. God awful. We go ahead and we see her there, and she's speaking to it, and she's basically begging the Jack-in-the-Box to bring him back. So I like this. This was interesting. And then there's a hooded figure that appears where Alexa Bliss was, and it's Randy Orton. And with a distorted voice, he's talking to himself. And I could see how some people would think this is really cringy or kind of jumping the shark, but I thought this worked with, in a sense, it's like Orton seeing this. We're seeing what Orton sees because he's losing his mind. It's not really there. That's how I'm taking it. It's not really there. This isn't really happening, but he's not actually seeing himself. He's just losing his mind because he's been possessed or tortured by the fiend, to the point where he's crazy. And he already had voices in his head, so I can believe that he's absolutely insane now. He lit a man on fire. That would mess you up, I'm sure. Even if you're that sadistic, seeing a corpse burn in real life might mess you up for a little while. Maybe, just a little bit. The smell stays with you. The flesh, come on.
Of all the things Braun has done, what was the dumbest thing he has done? Hey Jake, I got news about Braun. He runs fast. Did you know that?
The dumbest thing he's done, probably when he announced when he was going to cash in and how he would cash in his Money in the Bank. Roman was champion. He didn't even, he could have surprised him after the Hell in a Cell, after nothing. Just, I'm going to cash in, and then I lost my briefcase. I'm a moron. That was pretty much it. So, thank you, Picaro. I appreciate you chiming in there with the $3. And let's see who else is chiming in next here. We'll find out, but... then we go ahead and we see, this kind of finishes up with Orton kind of saying that Bliss needs to stay out of their business or there'll be no compassion for what happens next. I like the ending of it.
Duncachino.
It's a whole new game.
Duncachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
You are doing a great job filling in, man. Appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much. Leon S. Kennedy. Yeah, and Trooper here dropping a ship bump $5. Thank you guys for all the support tonight. It's incredible. Thank you. I'm honestly blown away. You guys are great. Originally, I had a plan where I was just gonna obliterate myself and get on air and drive Joe nuts and try and blow up the stream, but instead we went ahead and this worked out kind of well. So Wednesday we'll do that instead. It's gonna be a wild night for AEW. Don't miss it. But this worked out well. Let's see who else is chiming in here with some more donations as I'm trying to catch up. I appreciate you guys with all the regular support. Actually, I think we are caught up. All right, look at that. Perfect. We are all caught up now. So yeah, I like the idea of Bliss, begging for the Fiend to return and having, her kind of take more of a back seat in all of this. We need Bray to return before the Fiend returns, obviously. I actually wouldn't have the Fiend even return until Mania. I would just have Bray carry the rest of the story and have him return as if the Fiend is gone, and then set up a match between Bray and Orton in the Funhouse, and then the Fiend shows up at Mania. That's something I would do. I think that would be a lot of fun. But thank you, Joe, for the compliment. Like I said, guys, Joe's dealing with some family stuff tonight, but he will be back. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe as well. And if you're looking for any extra Joe Cronin Show content, like the Jake and Joe podcast, Off the Rails, there's tons of great stuff. Till Death Do Us podcast that Joe does with Leah, Too Spooky, and so many more. You can go ahead and catch those at patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. You can support there. There's different tiers for you to sign up for. You can see the Corrupted podcast live every Saturday night as well if you go ahead and become a patron. So it's a great thing to support. Helps everybody out and keeps the channel going. A lot of $25 patrons that are on there. Thank you to all of our proud supporters and producers. You guys keep the shows going. So it's truly appreciated. Then we went ahead and we had The Miz and Bobby Lashley's match kind of start. But, wait. 30 seconds later, The Miz gets counted out. That was really upsetting. I didn't mind the feigning injury the first time, but this was foolish. He should have just lost the title in a really good match here, or they should have just had The Miz come out and, if they wanted to go ahead and really try this, he should have tried to hit him with the title, something like that, like cheat, but, get yourself disqualified in that sense rather than count it out but try and injure Bobby at the same time so you can get yourself out of the match happening again. Most of it just doesn't make sense on Miz's part. He runs away. Now he's going to be stripped if he doesn't defend the title. Eventually we know what happened at the end of the night. So it And especially the way that Bobby Lashley sold it afterwards. You had MVP swearing, this is bullshit. They got to pull the AEW and say shit. They got to be edgy, guys. I mean, that's yeah, talk spooky to me. Excuse me. Not too spooky. I always say that. You work with me here. At least I remembered everything else. But Lashley, being told that if he doesn't go ahead and have the match, he's going to become the champion no matter what. And he says that, oh, I'd rather beat the hell out of The Miz. Wouldn't you rather be champion? MVP's selling the fact that you want the title. Why aren't you? Why aren't you being, super focused on becoming the next champion as you were at the end of the night, so excited? Why didn't we have that intensity from you then, Mr. Lashley? So Bobby came off a little bit odd there, but I do appreciate that he is champion at the end of the night. So at least that did happen eventually. Let's go ahead and we will see chat. Guys, can you hear the Discord? We're going to find out. I'm going to pop in a second. We're going to test it. Yeah, too spooky is what I definitely said. All right, guys, can you hear us? Let's go ahead and see. Well, we got a few people on hold. I know some people were waiting to chime in. We'll hear what they have to say about Raw as we're working our way through. We'll see if everybody can hear me in the Discord. Mr. Luke Rojas, what's going on? Can you hear us? Mic check. Hey, test 1, 2. How about you, Sir Welsh? Are you there?
Hey, Jake.
Hey, there we go. I think we can get somebody on the call, so let's find out. How's it going?
Sorry, my mic is all fucked up.
Oh, no worries.
Hold on 1 minute.
That's 2. So, James, I think you're muted on your end as well, so. Technical difficulties, chat. Working with it. Thank you so much. Let's see if the Discord pops up.
Yeah, I can hear you, Jake.
No, not yet. We'll find out, though. We still got the chat. Hey, you guys can go ahead and make yourselves famous. So, Welsh, what did you think of Raw tonight? What was your highs and lows?
This show was absolutely abysmal garbage. The only good thing about tonight was Sheamus and Drew just out of nowhere just put on an absolutely fun match. Like you had said, Sheamus, turned against Drew for obviously no reason, just to get a title shot. When Drew had told him, I'll give you your title shot. And it led up to this. But it was a fun match. It went, 23, 24 minutes?
Yeah, it was almost 25 minutes.
I thought it was a really positive put on by Drew and Sheamus. And definitely towards the end, it was fun. Both were putting on almost finishers, and it was just an all-out fun match.
Absolutely. That was something that they really could have had at WrestleMania. I really think that would have been something that they could have, torn the house down in front of fans. If they really are going to go with, Lashley against Lesnar and have that be the marquee match for night, 1, if they're still, planning it that way, I think that would be...
Sorry, my mic is all fucked up.
I think that would be great. So, James, unfortunately, you're going to have to go ahead and turn your stream down on your end. There we go. But yeah, I am excited, to see where they go ahead and start lining up the matches for Mania. Rojas, did you go ahead and get your mic all set? I don't think he's all set yet. James, can you hear us?
Hey, can you still listen? I'm sorry.
No, you're good. I can hear you.
The microphone on my headphones aren't working, and when I use with just a laptop, it echoes. So I'm going to try to fix it and see if it works.
All right, because you sound good now, so.
Hold on, is it...
And we got Lewis chiming in as well, so. We'll see if he
If there's only one spot for Lesnar to return is if they're planning that, you would have to think that Lesnar would show up at Fastlane to make him, or if you even want to save him, since there's been no discussion of him even signing a contract as of yet. If you want to make it a surprise, you could even have Lesnar show up at WrestleMania out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And if Lesnar wants to play, have him sign the contract the day of WrestleMania and just keep on the down low and don't let anybody know, and have him, and when Lesnar's music hits, if you're going to have fans, save that Lesnar surprise.
Yeah, that'd be a huge surprise, no doubt. If they could keep that under wraps, kind of how they did with Sting. I mean, we knew Sting was coming, but we didn't know when, and it was an unexpected moment, very well set up. like I said, I wasn't even a huge, Sting mark myself, but I watched his re-debut in AEW a dozen times on their YouTube channel just because it was a hell of a moment. WWE needs to pull off something similar, and excluding CM Punk, I can't really have anyone else come to mind that would get that kind of an ovation besides Lesnar. Honestly, I feel like that's it. So,
The Rock.
The Rock, absolutely, but he's out of the running at this point in time, we know. So he's unfortunately able to make it this year already. We've been through that with him. I would love to see The Rock and Roman have had their match this year, but he wanted to do it in front of fans. They weren't sure if that was going to happen, and then they wanted to wait till they can do it in Los Angeles. So 2 years from now, we'll get it. What happens by then, who knows? But
I don't think that match would be very good because I think Roman, he's the classic type of WWE wrestler who I'm not saying I don't like him in the ring because he's had some fantastic matches, but it's usually when he's working off of somebody like AJ or working off of somebody who's, better in the ring than him. But, that's a testament to show you how good of a wrestler Roman is because, he's made guys like AJ and Seth Rollins look really good.
Oh, he has. I mean, the match he had against John Cena was fantastic. His recent work with Daniel Bryan, Kevin Owens, I mean, he's not disappointed in a long time. And unfortunately, he got the short end of the stick because of how fans viewed him. He wasn't a horrific wrestler in the ring. He wasn't awful on the mic. I mean, he certainly wasn't good either. He left a lot to be desired, but he just wasn't good. He said himself memorizing promos as a face. Once they got him out of that, he's been fantastic. I'm not saying turning someone heel is the key to everything, but with him, you knew. All the fans knew. The writing was on the wall from the get-go. Everyone understood that there's something about you that just looks like a cocky, condescending prick, but I like it. So go with it. And Vince wouldn't do it because he wanted his puppet.
In WWE, a career like, reinvention for people is when they turn heel. Yeah,
essentially, and even when you look at, feuds we had through the past year, it's just a couple of matches. They're not real feuds anymore. It's not anything that has a length of time that passes.
Well, it's because for WWE's booking, they can only book heels. They can't book faces anymore. They just can't really develop characters that you can get invested in and stay invested in them and stay cheering for them. Like they tried it with Seth Rollins. We all thought we thought that Rollins was the guy. And then 2 or 3 or maybe 4 months later, people just couldn't stand the guy anymore.
Yeah,
the same happened
with Becky. He ruined his own image.
Exactly. Becky's another example. She was kind of like booked as the main star, kind of like for a woman, she was basically John Cena for a while. She was on the face of everything. But the fact is, I don't think baby faces nowadays, especially in WWE, can maintain that momentum.
No, because they have them all acting the exact same.
And they all deliver these fucking terrible promos like, well, you may be the best, but I am even better. And I'm going to prove this Sunday, when I prove to everybody in the world that I'm the best. Because I am the man. Get these hands, burn it down.
I mean, that is so true, though. That's every single promo, without fail, for every face. And that's why we're lacking. I mean, at least Cena I miss because he was smack-talking. He would make fun of the heels, and he was kind of in a league of his own with promos. We don't have anyone doing those type of things right now. That's why Punk was magic on the mic. I mean, he was a prick, but he was the face. It worked, and that they had their own identity. We're missing all of that. So, yeah, unfortunately, guys, in the chat, Joe's having some family issues, so he's not able to be here tonight. But you're stuck with me. It's a Jake show, one night only on the Joe Cronin Show, and we're actually going to go ahead and check into the donations. I know we have a few more people chiming in, so guys on Discord, hold on 1 second.
Duncachino?
Don't mind if I do. What's my name?
Duncachino.
It's a whole new game.
Duncachino.
You want creamy goodness? I'm your friend. Say hello to my chocolate blend.
WWE are taking Randy having voices in his head quite literally lol. This Bliss storyline is creepy as hell though. Have to sign off but love ya all.
Well, Soundwave, thank you so very much. Soundwave92 dropping $5 in the super chat. He made a great point. He said they're taking Randy's, having voice in his head quite literally. And hey, I'm not hating it. The Bliss storyline, it is creepy. That's why I said doing it like this, I was okay with that tonight. I just hated everything they did with Kayla beforehand. But Soundwave, have a great night. And thank you so much. Hope I didn't miss you. That was only about 9 minutes ago. So I'm not too far behind.
Hey, Jake. Why would Braun announced his cash-in? The point of Money in the Bank is to cash in when the opponent is not 100. John Cena also did the same in 2012. Did John Cena look like an idiot too?
No, Cena didn't look like an idiot there because of the way, he was that noble babyface, hustle, loyalty, respect. Everything was about showing your opponent that, you were going to be the best by beating the best. And it was cliche, as we, were joking about before, but at least he made it work. And I felt like his cash in was to, it meant something with the story that they were having, as where Braun just is a heel should be cashing in, basically, in a sneaky fashion. He should be finding the best moment and the best opportune time to strike. And instead, he didn't get any of that.
Time.
He was and wasn't. He kept going back and forth. By the time they got to the TLC match, he was on team whatever again, against the Shield the year before. Like, he just kept branching from there and transitioning. So the whole thing just fell apart.
There's only a handful of faces that have cashed in because it's really just a heel thing to do. So like they kind of stray away from it. The only time they really do it is when it's revenge against somebody.
Yeah.
Or it's like this is the first time they've ever won a world title, and it's like this is the biggest moment of their career. Like Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan. I think Dolph was a heel at the time too, and I think Bryan became a heel after he cashed in. It's just like cashing in is one of those things. It's supposed to be used to build the biggest the biggest heel on the roster. It's effectively
exactly. It's a heel's briefcase. That's what it is. It's their accessory.
Effectively, that became
Ziggler was a face.
Yeah. Well, no, Ziggler became a heel.
He became a heel shortly after. He had a face cash-in, but it still led to a transition. But even still, the way he was before, and it was just against Del Rio in the perfect time. It was like just right place, right time. It was that groundswell of emotion.
Del Rio got stale.
Yeah, he was on his way out. People weren't really happy with Del Rio anyways to begin with. No one really got behind him, and he had a very lackluster run. So.
Del Rio should have lost that title 4 times. He had a chance to lose it to Dolph Ziggler, then he had a chance to lose to Christian. Everybody wanted him to lose to Christian, and then everybody wanted him to lose it to RVD.
Swagger.
Swagger.
Unfortunately,
Swagger was so over in 2014.
Even they wanted the Big Show to beat him.
We the people,
They had so many people that have been over that they just failed to push. Like the Miz. Like the Miz should have been pushed 4 or 5 years ago.
The Miz is great.
He was on top.
He genuinely is a really good on mic, solid working heel. But when they make him this total chicken shit and just constantly scared of his own shadow, just gigantic pussy for lack of better words, it doesn't benefit or behoove him at all. It makes him look ridiculous.
Watch the video of him finding out that he gets that he got the contract back a few months ago, and he's like dancing. Yeah, it's like this is a joke. You've made the Money in the Bank contract.
I'm sorry to interrupt. How does he act different from his IC title reign? But when he's become WWE champion, he's more of a pussy chicken shit heel. Like, how could they do that?
Yeah, Christian here. Thank you for chiming in. Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's a great point. Why do people, at least if you have character motivations and you see the change in them, like Daniel Bryan, there were little cracks in his face persona, and then he started to become more, planet conscientious, and he wanted to become, the people's champion, but now I wanted to be the Earth's champion, the planet's champion. But it was a slow burn, and then he became heel, and then he had, what's his name, Rowan with him, and it just worked. It was a transition that kind of made sense for him to go heel. You knew he was a vegan already, so that thing fit. The Miz, all right, what made you change? What made you alter your character traits? What happened in storyline that made you become the way you are?
And how come you can't wrestle anymore? Like, the thing is, the Miz he had successful title defenses in matches.
Yeah.
He would win by cheating, but it was after he had like 15, 20 minutes of like a good match, like because he knows how to wrestle. Like I know everybody says The Miz sucks, but he's not bad in the ring.
If you go back to when he had the IC title and he interrupted John Cena and Roman Reigns having that promo that night, this is when he had his wife and Bo Dallas with him and all, the Miz Taraj. And he came out and he cut one of the most incredible, scathing, brutal, promos on both Cena and Roman. And it was just so damn fantastic that people started booing him that they couldn't help but cheer him. And the hate for Cena and Roman, he's like, you guys, you boo them, but you don't know what you want. You don't know what you need. And he just lambasted the fans. It was amazing. So good.
Look what they did to them. Well, look what they did to him that year.
Oh, I know.
He came off of 2016 and 17. He was the hottest star on SmackDown besides maybe AJ.
Absolutely.
He was big. And then they gave him that John Cena feud and had him lose, which was dumb.
They never should have lost that at WrestleMania because John still had the chance to get his Mania moment with the proposal. They should have lost and then said, well, even though we lost, here's our chance to propose. That's what should have been. The Miz suffered with that loss, but the build was great. They were so funny in those promos. And Joe and I saw it live. We died laughing. Yeah, then they killed him by moving him to Raw, not there long after.
When they moved him to Raw and they moved Dean Ambrose to Raw, they completely destroyed the Intercontinental title, and they completely ruined The Miz and his momentum. And he became a mid-carder, and they stuck him with a low-tier mid-card faction that would start off kickoff shows. That's what they did.
You want to know? I'm sorry to interrupt. You want to know what really ruined The Miz? That stupid fucking feud he had with Shane McMahon and turning him babyface.
That's what killed him because there was no reason for him to go babyface, and then he never got a chance to get his revenge on The Miz. For like a year he lost continually. That's what my main complaint about him becoming champion is that he just lost and lost and lost, and then he only had 2 victories last year. That was terrible.
And then I guess in kayfabe, the excuse is why Miz is a fucking chicken shit heel is because he faced The Fiend, and The Fiend changed his persona, because that's The Fiend's gimmick, right? Every time you face The Fiend, your gimmick fucking changes. Like, for example, Seth Rollins was a babyface, but after his feud with The Fiend, he turned heel.
Yeah.
Daniel Bryan was a heel, and he faced Bray Wyatt, and then he turned babyface. So I guess, in a way, in kayfabe, you can use that as an excuse. Now, why Miz is a chicken
I guess,
shit heel.
but they just haven't had anybody else suffer in the ring because of a Fiend loss. So, and technically, it wasn't. He lost to the Bray Wyatt character, not even the Fiend, right? Wasn't that the whole point of that? So I don't know, but still, getting away from the Miz at this point, his IC title run. It's still just upsetting that, the way he was treated here. And a great point that Joseph Ross made in the chat is that Steve Austin, when he was a face, if he had 10 opponents to face, 10 on 1, he didn't care. He was going to go out there and stunner every one of them. But when he was a heel, if he had to face just Benoit and Jericho 2 on 1, that's not fair. That's highway robbery. That's how heels should be. Like, he should be complaining, but he still got in there and he'd low blow them and rake their eyes, and he'd find a way to cheat and overcome. That was what was important. So
Triple H as a face can take out all of Legacy. Triple H as a heel needs help from a 60-year-old Ric Flair to beat Eugene.
Exactly. Precisely. But that's the fun moments that wrestling builds to because of the story.
And
that's classic. Absolutely classic.
Oh yeah.
But it's like someone said, if Vince is actually taking over creative from the creative team, and how stars don't know what the hell they're doing the night of the show, 15 minutes before showtime. I mean, don't get me wrong.
That's terrible.
Stars should be upset.
I mean, the many articles that I've seen today is that WWE producers are imploring them, not to share any creative details with the talent. And the creative team was told to ask Vince or Bruce Pritchard before sharing any creative details with any talent. This new policy has eliminated superstar feedback, and that was the thing that Vince always touted that was most important, was hearing what the stars thought of their ideas. So that's total bullshit. So they've eliminated feedback when it comes to their angles. Talent feedback was previously a much larger part of the creative process. Now talent do not know what they're doing. And this new edict to dam up the flow of information stretches to the show of shows. We were told that very few talents know where they're headed for WrestleMania, and the intention of this was to stop leaks from happening on Reddit. So if that's really the case, they could still let the talent know and just, start doing fake leads and stop talking to certain press. That would have made much more sense.
I think he's just making this shit up. I don't think he has absolutely no idea what's the plan for this year's WrestleMania. I think he's just making shit up as he goes, to be honest.
Oh, it seems like he has a few ideas in mind, but Vince is just literally, crap shooting darts on a board for the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Vince has an idea. Here's the thing. Vince has an idea for the main event probably 4 or 5 months out.
Usually. Sometimes even a year out.
Sometimes even a year out. But what he's more concerned about is the mid card, because he really just doesn't know how to book a full show anymore. He can book a good main event and he can book a good legend versus legend match or something like that. Vince McMahon's a good promoter. But the thing is, there's so many fucking matches now that he has to make interesting that it's almost insane. The amount of people there that he has to make an interesting match for the IC title, and then also make the United States title feel special. I don't know. It's a little hard. It's a little hard to judge somebody and be like, oh yeah, he ruined it. But at the same time, a lot of people could do a lot better.
It just seems like there is no mid card.
There isn't at this point in time. There's just a little smattering of people around the main event, and the rest all kind of fall to the wayside. And no, AEW doesn't do this BS, Joseph, but because everyone knows what they're doing before the pay-per-view and before everything else.
Yeah, they have better organization.
It seems that way. I mean, at least their creative seems to know what's going on.
That's because they're letting the wrestlers do it.
Speaking of WrestleMania, that promo that Charlotte Flair cut out tonight was utter bullshit. That was the most bullshittiest promo I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's funny that you brought this up because that's exactly where we left off on Raw.
And after last week, after her promo with her father last week, where it felt legit fucking real, where she was like, "Go home, you don't belong
bullshit.
here."
She says that, I don't care about the Raw Women's Championship. I don't care. I don't want to be in the title picture. That's so full of fucking shit, and you know it.
She's supposed to be a babyface.
You have other fucking people literally online like fucking Bully Ray and fucking other people say that you're one of the greatest women's wrestlers of all time. You could shove your fucking fake promos up your ass. That's a fucking straight up lie.
Yeah, it's like she's trying to be friend.
To get to championship number 16, and it doesn't seem fair for the other women either.
Yeah, she's totally lying to Asuka because she wants to turn on her. It's fucking brilliant strategy from her, man.
Also,
And
also, if you don't want to be related to Ric Flair, why are you still calling yourself Charlotte Flair? Why are you still calling yourself your last name?
I don't know why, because she could have gone ahead and completely, separated herself entirely, just been Charlotte, one name, and people would have gotten it. Obviously, the lineage is there. You're going to know it, but it could have helped get that namesake away from her. Would have been fine. But this promo she cut last week was one of my highlights of Raw. Remember, that was one of the things that I enjoyed the most. That was something that really went ahead and was like, I was like, wow, this is fantastic from Charlotte, and we never get anything like that. So,
Luis, turn down your thing.
Yeah, your stream's echoing back.
I have my speakers so low, I don't know how my webcam's microphone still picks everything up.
Yeah, mine's the same way. You have to switch to I can't speak. You have to end up switching to fucking headphones or
earbuds. Always work easy. Headphones.
And you guys talking about Charlotte's in NXT, she didn't need the Flair name. She was just Charlotte.
Well, that was the thing. It worked fine, and she worked hard for quite some time to kind of separate herself. Then they brought her father in when they had the match against Natalya, but then after that they kind of strayed away from it for a while again. Then she came up. They stayed away from it for a little bit, and then the wooing and everything came to be prevalent again. And that's the thing here. It doesn't work. It's unfortunately I genuinely want them to go ahead, and I want Charlotte to be, successful, but I don't see how she could be a face ever again. I don't think the fans will ever accept her.
I hate to say it, but she really needs some fresh air after her contract. I'm sorry.
She needs to go brunette and have an outfit change and a total change of character.
No, I don't mean like an
She's
outfit.
the female
I mean
version.
like a brand, like either like an Impact or AEW at this point.
Oh, like a total, change altogether. Yeah, I can see that working.
She'll go as Ashley Flair or some shit in AEW, you know.
Female
The queen
version
of,
Roman
well, she did
Reigns.
trademark the Queen of Wrestling, didn't she, a while ago? So maybe she's
I rather
trying.
personally she just starts from the bottom though, just to prove she is like a legit like.
Yeah, that'd be
best,
fine. I would like to see her, but she could prove herself.
Like,
I know
least,
she
like,
could.
prove like all the people outside of the bubble that she is like that legit, quote unquote.
And that was the one
Yeah,
thing that annoyed me
absolutely.
tonight was her promo tonight after last week's promo, where last week's promo it felt 100% legit, where she told her father, she's like, "Get out, you don't belong here."
That's a baby face.
They should just make her a gimmick that she's the Andrade's gringo girlfriend, and like have her learn Spanish and like help him become better, and have her as the mouthpiece for him, kind of, and that'll probably work out a lot better.
Bottom line is this: she was gonna bury somebody at WrestleMania anyway this year. I bet you 10-1 this was gonna be the fucking plan for WrestleMania if Lacey Evans didn't get pregnant. Lacey beats Asuka for the World Women's Championship at Elimination Chamber. Then she faces Charlotte at Fastlane and becomes a no contest.
You
And
think
then it
Asuka's
became
going
a
to hold the
triple threat.
title? You think Asuka's
No.
going to hold the title all the way to Elimination Chamber, man?
She
That's like
might.
a whole year
No.
away.
That's a long
I'm
time,
saying-
though.
No, I'm saying no. I'm talking about if Lacey didn't get pregnant.
Oh,
She didn't get pregnant.
okay.
This
I
would've
understand what
been-
you're saying. Yeah,
this
because
would've
they
been
had big
the-
plans. Ric Flair was apparently even wanting to wrestle again. Ric Flair wanted to do a lot of things with. He was going to teach Lacey how to basically wrestle like him, I guess. Like it was going to be not quite how they muddied it up by doing it with The Miz, but they were apparently going to make it work. And lo and behold, she got pregnant.
Well, it wasn't
and-
going to work.
Yeah, they didn't want to clear Ric Flair,
It wasn't gonna work at
obviously.
all.
So that went ahead and kind of fell to pieces. But,
I bet you
that's
this
kind of
was-
is how it is.
I bet you this was going to be their original plan. Lacey beats Asuka at Elimination Chamber, and then Charlotte beats Lacey at WrestleMania for the title. I bet you that was the plan.
That seemed likely that they were going to have Ric Flair go ahead and help her out, and then from there, she would go ahead and we'd see her go ahead and finally capture the championship from Lacey. But
Double turn. How about this? I bet you there was going to be a double turn where Ric Flair was just helping Charlotte win all along, and Lacey turns face.
that's possible. And while we go ahead, we're going to check back in with donations. Hold on one second there on Discord, and we got the Karens. We haven't heard this one in a little while, so we'll let it play through.
I can see. Well, I can see like some juicy going on. I mean.
Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Cause Karens are shit.
Jake, do you think Cena will pass Flair for title?
Yeah, I still think so, Jay Giles. I genuinely hope that that's what happens eventually. We see Cena get that
Hey,
next
Jake,
win.
Would you love Braun
I'm not gonna
Strowman
lie,
being
I'm just
Santa
gonna
Claus
quickly,
for
like,
Hold on one
Christmas?
second, we got a few
About the
more
main
chiming in
event,
here.
Braun
though,
chasing
because
people
here's the
outside the
thing.
ring predicting to be a
Even
train.
though
We.
pretty much like
Wahoo.
100%.
Just
when it
like
comes to, like,
JD says,
Bobby,
I should change
can
Braun's name to Brown Ass Blowman.
Just like JD says, yeah, brown ass blowman. All right, if you say so, Caro, but we'll take it. Thank you for chiming in. I don't want to see Braun being Santa Claus. No, sorry, but it could be. Let him be the Grinch. I think that serves him better. Let him paint his balls bright green and run around and chase all the women in the locker room, and he could be the Grinch. And then they could fire him and cancel him, and then we won't have to deal with his dumbass anymore. I think that'll work. Randy Viper chiming in as well. Thank you, Randy, while you're chiming in. I held off on the Discord for a minute. I will be back in the Discord in a second because Joe and I, when we went ahead and had an issue a while back, I lost my mod privileges on Discord, so I can't edit, mute, drop, and kick people. So, unfortunately, it's all or nothing. We're working on it, though. We're working on it. Hey, Kevin, we're trying here. Let's hear what Randy Viper's got to say.
This Mania will be unpredictable and good, Jake.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a little bit more unpredictable than we've had recently, so that could be a good thing. We'll see what happens, but oh shit!
There's something going on.
Here for one classic 6.
Oh! Happening, strange kinda happening, things are kinda happening. What the fuck is happening? Aliens, extraterrestrials, they gave me a shot. Nanotechnology. I'm not me. You're not you. La la la. I'm fucking crazy. Split personality. Scott McKinnon. La 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 la
Just dropping in to show a small token of love. And new. At least it's not Miz.
Duncachino, holy hell, blow me away here. And new WWE champion, and thankfully, it's not Miz. If they're not going to go ahead and buy into the Miz, then what's the point? Give it to Bobby. He's been looking strong. Let him choke the life out of everybody. I'm digging it. Thank you so much, Duncachino, becoming the top donator right there. Thank you, guys. Everybody that's chimed in tonight, you are all just legends. Thank you all for making this such a great stream so far. We were going to finish going through Raw, and we will check back in with the Discord in a few minutes and get through everybody. But Duncachino, thank you so much, and everybody that's donated tonight. And like I said, guys, Joe, we'll be back Wednesday night with the AEW review. Going to be a wild night. Don't forget, it's a big night over there. AEW, I think the name is Crossroads. Special night because we got the Shaq match with Cody. That's going to be crazy. Paul White's going to be there. Just a bunch of fun matches. It's going to be a hell of a night, so I'm looking forward to it. So yeah, after we had the god-awful Charlotte Flair promo, just awful with Shayna and Nia coming in. Shayna and Nia had no place to be there, but Asuka's injured, so they unfortunately have no way to utilize her at this point in time, so they didn't know what to do. So they send Shayna and Nia out there, so just none of it works. Hearing the Punky Brewster comment is just ridiculous. You know, Nia Jax cannot work on the mic. She just can't. She fails consistently. It does not work. She's not funny. She's not enjoyable. You can't, as a face, you couldn't get behind her, which is sad because there's a lot to get behind, but this whole thing was just embarrassing. And then we ended up devolving into a match so now we get Charlotte Flair taking on Shayna Baszler. Nia's still around the corner. Charlotte very easily beats Shayna here. Shayna, who destroyed every single woman in NXT for years and held on to the title for a very, very record-keeping long time, who went ahead in last year's Elimination Chamber, destroyed every single Raw female like it was nothing. She didn't even break a sweat. She lost to Becky Lynch, and since then, she's been cursed worse than somebody that faces The Fiend. She's been on a horrific losing streak as a solo artist, and then she has to team up with Nia My Whole Jax, so hasn't been a great run for poor Shayna. I cannot wait for them Wednesday to, I pray, lose the tag team titles to Dakota Kai and Raquel Gonzalez on NXT. That's my hope and a prayer, so that we get to see the titles defended on all brands, because they'll go to SmackDown, Raw, and NXT, and that'd be great for Dakota Kai, who I'm a big fan of. So this match was less than 3 minutes, total joke, nothing worthwhile here that happened. It made Shayna look like shit. It was basically a stupid squash match, and at this time, now we're just ticking away, time from the main event. So I keep looking at the clock saying, okay, we got to get to this Miz and Bobby Lashley match. What's happening? Next up, we get another little backstage moment, and Shane tells Pierce if Lashley, let him know that if Miz doesn't show up, he's going to lose that title. It is going to happen. So we're going to go ahead, and we will see as later on he'll win the title, but he'll lose the title. Next up, we get Riddle and Lince Dorado and Grand Metalik taking on some of Retribution. Now, Mustafa Ali said that Retribution is due for a change, and after they lost in just a little over 2 minutes, they definitely need to go ahead and, they need to split up. It's done and over with. No one takes them seriously anymore. The whole thing is just a total joke. Poor Mustafa Ali has put in so much effort to make this work, and besides, them having fun on Twitter and being entertaining, they can do that without being in Retribution. They can still be, shit talkers and going ahead and messing with people. So, Metal Mastodon, Vince, he might have a problem with Shayna because she hasn't given it up for him. So you never know, And Joseph, yeah, I agree. Please, Dakota, and Raquel, I really hope they win the titles. Brian says the same. And Mac, for you, thank you for the kind words on the weight loss. Yeah, tomorrow is actually 1 year since I had the stomach surgery, and then when they also repaired my esophagus and all that fun stuff. And unfortunately, I'm still vomiting, but hey, lost a great deal of weight. So we'll get into that towards the end. I'm going to embarrass the shit out of myself, but it made me proud, so I'm going to go with it anyways. Why not? After that terrible match, we got U.S. champ Riddle taking on just Mustafa Ali. But it's a non-title match, so you know what's going to happen, right? Riddle loses. Mustafa Ali wins. It's a joke. What are we getting out of this? So Retribution looks like shit, but Ali can look decent. It doesn't make sense here. I know what they're trying to go for, but it just doesn't feel earned at this point. It was less than a 3-minute match. They should have told a better story. Just all of this sucks. Retribution needs to just be taken out to pasture and shot like Old Yeller. It needs to happen. So then we go ahead and we get the inevitable Lashley entrance for a third time. Then The Miz and Morrison finally come out again. We go and we get Shane to come out, and before we see the match begin, we get a bunch of lumberjacks. Fantastic. Heels, faces, they run to ringside. We get the rest of the Hurt Business. Everybody's there. And, of course, Miz, right away, he's trying to hit him with the belt. He wants to get disqualified, like I said before. Why not try and be an idiot? Well, you're in a lumberjack match. Doesn't matter now. What's the point? Why now do this? You should have done this in the second match, you friggin' moron. So now Miz goes ahead and, you're going to get disqualified in a lumberjack match where there's no disqualification? No, because there's outside interference, right? Whatever. WWE makes no sense. Lashley doesn't move. He's trying to, no-sell a bunch of moves, looking like a Terminator. Good on him. Drew Gulak gets involved and throws him, everybody back in the ring. And here we go, and we start to see Lashley attack Miz, and now everybody else starts to get involved. We see Retribution and the rest of the Hurt Business start to hit Miz as well. They throw him back into Lashley, and he gets him with the flatliner. And then thrown back to the outside. They just kind of keep going, and that's when Lashley gets the big one-arm spine buster. And as soon as Miz stands up, puts him in the hurt lock, kind of toys with him for a little bit, and then makes him submit for the win. Bobby Lashley is the new WWE champion, and it happened, folks, outside of Black History Month. Outside of Black History Month. They made sure they waited 1 day past February. That's impressive. That took a lot of restraint for Vince not to do this last week and have their Black History Month WWE champion. So, round of applause. As I said with WWE, you're never quite sure what you're going to get.
Sometimes it may be good, sometimes it may be shit.
Yeah, that's true. Thank you guys. But let's go ahead and we'll chime back into the Discord, see what some more people have to think and say. We'll see who's on hold here. I know we got Christian still on. I apologize that we had to go ahead and take off before, but we'll see.
No, that's fine.
Christian, what was your favorite part of tonight?
Else? I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead. Let me hear you finish your thought here. Go ahead.
You know what else is stupid about Braun Strowman?
What's that?
He agrees to be the lumberjack for Shane McMahon, a guy that he said sucks. Try to make sense out of that.
I know. It just doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense.
Nothing makes sense.
And it's baffling. So, Luke, thank you for coming back as well. Between both of you guys, what was your favorite moment of the night? Was there anything good that stood out?
I thought the first match was the only good part of the show, to be honest.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm a big fan of Retribution, number one faction in wrestling, obviously. Obviously, we got the great wrestlers like Slapjack and Tim Tom and Peanut Butter Jelly. I don't really know whether
Peanut Butter Jelly Time, that's our favorite.
Peanut Butter Jelly Time.
Way
I don't know why they're still around. I think at this point, they're like generic goon squad that like has a 5 or 6 minutes of decent offense in the Royal Rumble only to be eliminated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And even more like just baffling with all of this. I mean, even the chat knows it's just very confusing to have Riddle with, Lucha House Party go ahead and he wins one match, then just to be put into a, non-title match right after. So why is he having a second match? I mean, really, it's not making sense, just because Ali's throwing his tantrum again. So, all right.
It's because every face is a schmuck. That's why they're
Yeah, they just agree to get themselves into poor situations and get their ass kicked. That's the problem.
They all just come out and run. They all come out and run, and they go ugh, 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 and they all and then they all fall down and catch like Ricochet or some shit doing like a crazy move. Like they're all the faces are used to do is break up fights between actual wrestlers.
Yeah,
that's it. Suck, like which side is even more cannon fodder, the faces or the heels for some reason. When it comes to WWE, when it comes to at least like frankly like all other promotions, you can at least hopefully like get like a balance of what's going on in each like roster.
Yeah,
I
agree, but that's the problem. We're not getting much of a balance. And you figure for what we are getting from Mania at this point, it feels like I'm waiting for Vince to call Mark and be like, I need you to return as the Undertaker. Like, it's, oh, God. I don't want to see Taker come back, but Vince has got what, Goldberg?
Was that the Undertaker calling?
That was the Undertaker. Is Vince calling as the Undertaker. I need you to come back as the dead man.
Okay, Vince.
Okay, Vince.
It's getting so unbalanced that we're getting more heels than baby faces. You know how there's too many heels than baby faces right now.
That's the problem, and none of the faces are believable. I mean, we go through the whole roster, and you forget who the champions are and who's winning, who's doing what. It's baffling. It doesn't work. So,
like for example, Cesaro. Why did Cesaro recently turn babyface? What was his motivation for? Why did he suddenly turn babyface?
Why give you one better? Why was Otis turning heel?
Well, wait a second.
I
like to defend SmackDown for a second. Christian, I'll let you have your point first.
I just feel like why did he turn babyface for having one match against Daniel Bryan? That makes no sense.
Well,
and then
I'm sorry.
Continue.
No, you go ahead.
Well, I'm just saying. Here's the thing: SmackDown at least will take time and develop at least a face or a heel turn. Sometimes now, it's like wrestlers seem to forget all the terrible things they did as a heel. Like, why is Shane McMahon acting like a nice guy now? Like, in front of The Miz.
Yeah, that's very confusing. Because he hated The Miz. The Miz hated him.
He attacked The Miz behind his back in front of, like, his dad.
Yeah, exactly. They were tag champs, and then The Miz lost the titles, essentially, even though it was both their fault, but I mean, I'm not going to argue when people say Bobby Lashley has been one of the best booked stars on Raw lately. I agree with that. Drew has been handled decently up until losing the title to The Miz. Before that,
because he doesn't randomly lose like everybody else will?
Exactly, because he's been protected pretty well. They've not made him look like a total dipshit for the most part. Except everything but the foot stomp on the Riddle. Bobby's looked pretty menacing and pretty intimidating, so I give them total credit for that, to keep him rather protected.
I'm not gonna lie, to speak about the whole ordeal with, like, even though the whole ordeal with Shinsuke and like Cesaro is like out of nowhere when it came to them both torn faces, and also kind of baffling as well, they also like split up. Even though technically you still would have made them work as a tag team in like some aspects, I don't know. Like at least work with Otis though. With Otis, I can at least understand the turn though, because at least like he's been teasing so much from like Gable to be like more aggressive and all that.
Yeah,
so
and I like them together.
I don't mind them together, but it just feels very odd. And
I think the whole story.
What would make him angry to turn mean?
Well, SmackDown.
Maybe like Chad like wants him to be like more aggressive though.
Well, SmackDown needed more tags.
Like, argument, though.
They do need more tag teams, so
like
that was
Chad
beneficial in that
like
sense.
his
But
motivation coach to be more wrestling like.
But why not address the fact that you lost your girlfriend, you lost your show, you lost your partner turned on you when you lost your briefcase? There's your reason to turn heel.
Stop bringing that up.
You know what?
They had 6 reasons to turn heel there.
Cole, shut your fucking mouth.
Would have used that to feel then I can understand that.
Vince right now is freaking out.
I mean,
the storyline is making him look like an idiot, and he's gullible, and he listens to everyone says.
Exactly, just another moron. What good do you get out of that?
Well, no, because now he's getting coached. Like he was beating the shit out of Rey Mysterio or whatever.
Yeah.
And like Chad Gable had to be like, whoa. We don't want to hurt him too bad. Like, I kind of like that dynamic, and it's an interesting dynamic.
Oh, it's not a bad dynamic between the two of them. I just don't understand why he would turn heel.
Yeah, but why? Why doesn't he? But why doesn't he now want to hurt him that bad? He's the heel. He's supposed to destroy people. That's the whole point of their job. That's their occupation.
You would think, but...
people.
Well, Kurt Angle wasn't going out there and trying to murder people at first. No, he was like, well, I'm the best wrestler. And he was kind of a cartoonish, like, not every heel is out there to murder people. And it's like SmackDown tries to do stuff that's new.
Yeah.
That's at least interesting. And I feel like people really can't, like, they want new shit. And then when they get new shit, they're like, well, this is fucking stupid, man. Like, why isn't it exactly like it was before? And it's just like, sometimes SmackDown is at least willing to try shit.
Yeah,
like
I do agree with that. We have seen that. So
Jey Uso should be winning more matches, but he's been booked at least legit. Now he's having matches against Bryan, and you can see him being in the match with Bryan and take him seriously. Fucking 7 months ago.
And Mark Henry now is calling out Bobby Lashley. You know, we heard him say on Busted Open that he plans on having a match within the next 6 months. And now we go ahead and we see him, you know, after Bobby Lashley says the almighty era is here, you know, lo and behold, we see him saying, I see you. So that's interesting. I wonder what they'll go ahead and do with that. Do we see maybe at Fastlane we get Mark Henry versus Bobby Lashley before Mania? That would be crazy. To build Lashley for Mania for Drew, that if he gets a win over Mark Henry, I think that would be impressive.
I'm sorry, like it's mostly like a. I'm sorry they're just doing it for kayfabe. I'm sorry, like legit is not really gonna happen though.
Well, Mark Henry has said he wanted to come back because he wanted to wrestle in 4 different eras: the '90s, the O's, you know, the 2010s, and now he'd be in the 2020s. So he wants to do what Big Show's doing and have, or Big White, excuse me. He wants to have the 4 decades as well, and he wants to have a match in the next 6 months. He said he wants to come back. Whether that's WWE or not is on them.
You know, if they are,
I would think the first. I would think the first contender to go after Lashley would be Keith Lee, since, you know, kayfabe, he did injure him before the Triple Threat U.S. title match.
Yeah, you figure that would, you know, be ideal, but I don't know what's going on with Keith at this point. So,
well, hell, at least have Keith Lee join the fucking Hurt Business at least.
Yeah, I mean, that wouldn't be bad.
Like, oh no, like
at least that makes some sense.
Like, how would you technically turn Keith Lee heel though? Because
he's kind of already there. I mean, he's right in between both heel and face. He's so neutral.
His whole gimmick isn't a face gimmick at all. What kind of babyface says bask in his glory? What kind of babyface has a nickname like that? It's not a babyface thing to do.
Not nowadays, that's for sure.
Wait, who said that? Who said that?
Keith Lee. Bask in his glory.
Well, yeah, well, that's always been his. That's not a bad.
Yeah, but that's
come
not,
on, dude. That's like
not
saying.
Really
but
no, I liked him bask in his glory. I miss his old theme song certainly.
Shawn Michaels calls himself the icon. Like, yeah, sometimes it starts as a heel thing. But the thing is, bask in his glory is not a heel thing. I don't know. I don't feel like that's heel.
No, it could be used as a heel thing. It could be cocky.
Some way, though, if you really think about it.
I think it could be cocky. I think it works.
The best in the world,
and he was
CM
a
Punk
heel.
called himself the best in the world. Yeah, well, he started off as a face when he did that shit, and he was a face for like the first half of his championship reign when he was going, "I'm the best in the world," and everybody was behind it.
Yeah,
I think people having cockiness, that's not a bad thing. Faces can be cocky.
Well, yeah, I said that before. That's what I liked about Drew a few weeks back when he cut that really, you know, just no bullshit promo where he got in the Miz's face and was angry. That was great.
Stone Cold was a fucking asshole if you think about it. I mean, all he did was break up matches and fucking beat the shit out of people and like get involved. But he was a face. But he was a face because of what we saw him do.
So all in all,
people loved him.
Yeah, people did love him.
People loved him.
No doubt about it.
Those matches were terrible.
I wouldn't go that far, but Steve Austin, speaking of the rattlesnake, is bringing on another snake. That's right. He's bringing on the Viper for the Broken Skull sessions. That'll be slithering soon to the WWE Network on Peacock. Now, I'm trying to figure out a couple things with Peacock. That's exactly what I'm getting into. Now, with Peacock, you're going to go ahead and you're going to have your new login, so you have to have a separate login. Now, Xfinity or Comcast customers get Peacock for free, so I have Comcast. I don't know if that comes with the network. I have to find out. I'm still trying to find out more information.
Oh no, like the network is just gonna be like a separate tab.
It's a separate tab, but it's supposed to be included with the monthly. I don't know, but still,
I just want to know, can I watch shit live now on the network, or do I have to use fucking Peacock? If that's the case...
No, the network is going to be no more for anyone that lives inside the United States. So long as you're in the U.S., you're not able to use the network once they switch over to Peacock. It's all going to be on Peacock.
Okay, I got to...
What happens to my network account?
That becomes invalid, and then you go ahead and you pay for Peacock.
Fucking
okay,
bullshit.
Okay. For everyone
But I've heard that if you have a subscription, they'll cut it down to $5 a month.
Well, yeah, what it is if you just want the WWE content, it's $5 a month. But if you want everything that Peacock has to offer, it's $9. And really, there is a lot of good stuff. If you're already doing it, you might as well just pay the price of the network you're paying now and get a bunch of they have House and tons of great dramas and comedies. What's that? I didn't hear you there. I'm sorry. All right. Well, I don't know if it glitched out or not, but we'll go with it.
Why are you responding to him?
I know I'm beyond high, but
Amazon Fire Stick.
Oh, that's why your volume's down still. There we go. Start again, Lewis.
Well, do you have a Roku TV?
No.
Yes.
Well, it's available on Roku TV if you get the app.
Hell yeah. Then I can do it that way. Look at that. TKO Rising. I have eaten Joe. I consumed his body, and then I sold his children. And no, Joe had some issues going on with the family, so he had to go ahead and take care of things. So he let me go ahead and fill in for the night, and have a little one-off with Jake.
Let's explain everyone here. Do you guys know what Pluto TV is?
Pluto? Isn't that the free network?
Yeah. Like, here's the thing. What Peacock is trying to do is basically like a martini blend of both. It's trying to do like both of the services at once.
No, I have Peacock. It's just I don't understand the whole, like, what's going to happen. I didn't understand until
WWE
now.
Network is going to be no more. That's
right?
it. The network you won't be able to access. That's it. No more WWE Network. So long as you live in the United States and you're not anywhere else, you're not going to be able to access the network, and you're going to have to go ahead and get a Peacock account. That's it.
To explain about the channels on Peacock, though. Like, they have,
the channels is the USA channels. It's the NBC, it's the NBC Universal thing, like House and Monk, all the USA channels.
No, let me explain about like the free like channels they have on Peacock. Like, they have like channels for like Jimmy Fallon, the news, and like they have like mini channels for like all like something like Brand Watts and all that, right?
Yeah.
And I know
they've got tons of stuff. So
like a channel for like the network as well. So like the old school stuff and all that.
Yeah, you'll still have access to everything the network has.
Reviews on that thing.
It'll just be on Peacock. That's it. It'll just be a different way you access it.
Now the real issue is this: are they going to play advertisements during live pay-per-views on the WWE Network? Or
I don't think so.
I'm
but
sure they ain't gonna do that.
They could.
Maybe it's still gonna be the same thing. It happens when you watch it on the network.
I will tell you this right now: if they do that, that will piss a lot of people off.
You know what? I'm only starting to use.
No,
the
like
network.
I feel like it's just gonna be the same though. Like after a match, I feel like it's still gonna be the thing.
I started only using the network for a while to only watch the pay-per-views live because wrestling at one point this year was so fucking bad to me that I couldn't even watch older matches. Because have you ever gone for the years of the pay-per-views and it's like 2017 wasn't good, 2015 wasn't good either, 14, 13, 12, they're all bad.
Exactly. So you got to really pick and choose.
I feel like though, if you watch it like for like at least like the late 90s and early 2000 last year, I feel like you still would have been all right, to be honest though.
2008 was a damn good year that gets overlooked because
Hang on, like, Edge and Taker. I want to say, like,
the Edge and Taker feud was really good.
I feel like you should have been all right.
Wasn't that Jeff Hardy and CM Punk as well in that year?
No, that was 2009.
That was 9?
Yeah.
We had also Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho.
Oh, that was really good, too. So
that was like... Yeah, the last year of TV 14 too, and it was the first year of HD TV. That's when WWE had its completely different look of the cameras.
Yeah, where they would have switched everything around.
Even though I kind of liked it as the older look. Like, you look at those ruthless aggression matches between Angle and Benoit, you know, and it's just like the lighting in the stadium looks just so more cinematic, especially with the flashes from people's cameras.
Oh yeah, you get I miss the flash bulbs and the intensity of it. If you look back, look back to Hogan and Rocky, that's when it's really starting to go away. But you get the flash bulbs, and it makes every finisher look larger than life because like the crowd just reacts.
SmackDown 2002 and 2000, like through 2004 or 5, looked like the most professional like wrestling show I've seen forever.
Oh yeah, they were top notch. Their production value has always been beyond stellar.
I thought 2016 SmackDown was great.
When they went live again, we had a good year. We just didn't know how good we had it until we looked back with, nostalgia rose-tinted glasses. I'm going to have you guys hold on one second. We got to go ahead and check in with the donations really quick. See who's going to go ahead and chime in.
Hey, Jake, do you want to join the Strowman Express? I got news about Braun. He runs fast. Did you know that? Why would Braun pick Nicholas as a partner to just relinquish the titles after Mania?
Yeah, that was the silliest thing ever when they just had Braun relinquish the titles after winning them because Nicholas couldn't defend them. Then why could he win them?
I'm sorry, that
was moronic.
I would have been alright. He just technically did it all by himself. I wouldn't even care.
Yeah, no kidding. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and give Raw probably.
It's just so. It still baffles my mind.
Yeah, I know. It's the whole thing is just ridiculous. I still don't get why they've done any of it with Braun.
I don't even care. Just won the tag titles out of the bar. I would not even be that bothered by that. But no,
I wouldn't either. So, Lion, what do you give Raw tonight? I'm at a 3 myself. Welsh, what about you?
I gave it a 2.
Gave it a 2. What about you, Luke?
The first match was really great. So I think. I don't know.
That's the hard part because the opening match was so stellar, but the rest of it sucked.
I want to rate the match first. I think the match itself, the first match, was a good solid 7.5. I think there was a few too many of these kickouts that they did with the Edge and Randy Orton match at last year in Backlash, where it was an overabundance of kickouts. We'll do a move 1, 2, and then we'll do another move 1, 2, and it's first of all, there's no audience to react to it anyway, so it's kind of pointless doing the false kickouts. I don't know, but
yeah, it's just to bait the audience, and a couple of them I like the false finishes. I didn't think the pacing was too bad with how they were presenting the pins, but I would give it a probably about a 7.5 as well. There's room to grow, but it was still a really, really fun match.
Whole show itself is a 4 because. You had a little bit of intrigue with the WWE title match, but again, nothing else of interest, which is a common thing for Raw. You look at SmackDown, things of interest happen. Like Roman Reigns, an opening promo leads to something happening in the main event. The Intercontinental title is treated like a championship now.
The United
States title, whether you like it or not, when it was on Lashley, even though he was being booked dominantly, the belt was an afterthought.
Oh, the belt was forgotten about. No one was using the belt at all whatsoever.
And it's fucking ugly looking.
That's for sure. That was the unfortunate part.
There's a good match set up for this Friday on SmackDown.
Is there? What's going on Friday?
Jey Uso versus Daniel Bryan in a steel cage.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's the one that's the only one that I know about that's happening. And even the booking for that, the way they got into that was very bizarre for them to both get counted out. If one got counted out and he was trying to escape, okay, put him in a cage. But you both got counted out, so you both just look like idiots. Not, you were distracted to get back in the ring.
Well, Jey Uso prevented him.
It gets worse. It gets worse than that because it doesn't even get official until Talking Smack. And guess what? Roman Reigns, the guy who doesn't even want to give Daniel Bryan a chance at the title, okays the steel cage match.
Yeah, he's the one that basically offers it up. So that's what I'm saying. The build to it didn't work.
that works because Bryan talks shit.
But why even give him the opportunity? Because Roman kept saying he didn't want to face him. He just wanted
Roman's
to go to
got
Mania.
a fucking ego. That was the whole thing. Roman is a fucking.
Usually, I would agree with you. I just don't think they sold it well, and I'm happy that they're having the match, and I'm looking forward to it. I just thought the build to it was not good. No, they shouldn't have. It should have been handled much different.
You know who else looks stupid? Edge. Edge was like angry that Daniel Bryan was probably gonna be his challenger, and like, dude. Wasn't like you a few weeks ago that said you didn't mind if Daniel Bryan was one of your opponents at WrestleMania, and now you're over here looking like an angry grump old man saying, oh, I thought we were going to have that tag match at Fastlane, bro. Like, what happened? And then, he doesn't even come out after SmackDown to help his alleged tag partner saving him. So... Edge looks like a schmuck already.
And Edge being upset, like you said, and, for him not being getting the title shot, but he's going to Mania, it shouldn't bother him, as he was, very eager to tell everybody at the Elimination Chamber, if you win, you beat Roman, I'd be glad to face you. I really hope this happens, and good luck, and seem like the good guy. And then he's complaining on SmackDown, saying like, why is he getting a title shot? That's not fair. I'm next. So it made him look shitty, and wasn't great for Edge.
You guaranteed a fucking title shot at Mania.
At WrestleMania, you're the main event. Who cares who you're facing? I mean, I could say he could say to whoever he's speaking to, like, oh, I'm really disappointed if, I don't want to see Roman lose because I want to face him. He's the one I want to beat. So you could say that, but don't make it sound like you're a whiny, complaining bitch. So, guys, everybody in the Discord, thank you so much for hanging out with me. We're going to get to a few more donations, but we'll see what's going on later in the week. I appreciate you guys calling in. Luke, Welsh, Lion, Saints, Lewis, thank you all so much. Christian as well. Guys, I appreciate it. Thank you. Hope you all stay sexy. I appreciate those guys going ahead and chiming in and help me out for a little bit. We'll see who else has to chime in here with a few more donations.
Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. Fuck Karen, suck my dick. And fuck cancel culture shit. Fuck Karen, you dumb bitch. 'Cause Karens are shit.
And more interesting in Adam Cole's storyline.
Yeah, no doubt about it, Villain. I'm looking forward to that with NXT as well. The breakup of the Undisputed Era. It's a sad and, upsetting day to see them, crush my soul with the tearing off of the dog tags and the super kick and the low blow. Just, breaking my heart. AJ Adams chiming in now. And thank you so much, Villain and Picaro, before you guys. Duncachino, still the top donor for the night with the Alien Man $51 donation. Thank you to him as well. Thank you, Luke Rojas, as well. And everybody that was in the Discord. I got to get my mod privileges back so I can adjust audio there and let people in and out.
Jake, these guys make my eyes bleed and my ears cry.
Yeah, I was going to try and pull people in one at a time, but I can't go ahead and do that just yet. So we'll get that settled and fixed. But I appreciate everybody going ahead and hanging out and, making it a good night. So thank you all. And, that's me chatting as Joe, so you know right now. You can tell with the spelling, but hey. Thank you guys for everyone that hung out with me tonight. And let's play a game in the chat. So I said it before. I'm going to go ahead and embarrass myself, but I'm proud at the same time. I did a lot of work. I busted my ass. So for all the the fat haters that have given me shit, hey, at least I'm lost a whole half a person. But people keep saying, how much have you lost and what did you weigh? So chat, there's a little bit of delay here, but you're not going to hurt my feelings. Be honest, realistically. Let's see who's closest here. Maybe there's something in it for you. We'll do Price is Right rules. How much did I weigh before surgery? In pounds, not elephants, okay? I want to go ahead and see what happens here. Jar, JJ, Janelle, Barbie, Firebird, Shell, of course, Janelle, Juan as well. Luke, thank you all. Coot, hanging out in the chat. So many of you, Rawman, Turpa, you guys have been here. TKO, Awandi. Again, happy birthday to Drew over at Derailed. Hopefully you had a great birthday, bud. 380, way up. Keep going. 550, 400, 300, 350, 280. Come on, realistic. 357, 508, getting better. 309, Well, my dick was, they had to cut that off, Coot, to make me, how much do I weigh now? All right, if we're going to ask how much I weigh now, but you guys are guessing how much I weighed initially. So how much do you think I weighed initially? That's even better. Oof. 549, 548, 1,000 kilos. We're getting somewhere. Well, we'll go ahead and we'll pull it in here. So which one's the first one? This is me coming home, day of surgery. Drum roll. I see last MTX X Master said 620. We'll give it to him. I weighed 631 pounds without eating and being completely just on all the steroids. At my heaviest, today I weigh 315 pounds. So in 1 year, I managed to lose 315 pounds. Just about. You know, you figure from 630 all the way down to 315. So, hot damn, you can see all my surgery scars and whatnot. Been through the ringer. But, you know, I still need a few more surgeries. I still need a few more fixings along the way. But just was a total fat ass and hated everything about myself. So, 315 pounds down and a lot to go still. But exercising, doing great. And you guys have been a lot of the motivation. You know, I've got my daughter, my wife, and this community. So, honest to God, you know, I was a disgusting blob who hated myself before, and I've worked very hard to change that. And, you know, people look at you beforehand, they're like, oh, the guy must sit there and pound away fast food. And sadly, it was just all the medication I was on, steroid treatments, blowing me up 30, 40 pounds at a time, being in the hospital. And it got so bad that the weight was making me have those lung infections where I was coughing up blood and having to stay in the hospital for weeks at a time. So thankfully that hasn't happened in over a year. And I, you know, deal with a lot, changed everything. So a few people, you know, don't hate yourself, TrueBart 202. You got to find one thing every day that makes you happy. And even if you have to write it down, say it to somebody, tweet it out, whatever it is, just find one good thing every day. Start there, and it gets a little bit easier. But you guys have gorilla strong, but you're just straight muscle. That's what it is. And Shell, I love you all too. So I really, really just can't thank you all enough for the constant support, the love, and for, you know, being just so damn kind. And that's why I really went ahead and, you know, I've always been honest with you guys and forthcoming, and, you know, I've dealt with a lot, but everybody's been excellent, and I really just genuinely appreciate you all. So I'm not sure what's going on tomorrow night for Throwdown. We'll see what's happening, but I know Joe will definitely be back, definitely Wednesday for the AEW review. It's going to be a wild night. We're going to have a blast. It's going to be a ton of fun. I cannot wait. You know, AEW has a massive lineup for that night. Hell of a card. Sounds like it's going to be, you know, quite the match. Let's see if we can get the final card for this week before we go ahead and get out of here. So we have Shaquille O'Neal and Jade Cargill taking on Cody Rhodes and Red Velvet, Tully Blanchard and FTR. That's right, Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler. Tully's making his in-ring return since, what, 1986, I think? 88? Like, it's been a long time. They're taking on Jurassic Express. So that's Luchasaurus, Jungle Boy, and, you know, Dwarf Dong Sucker, as Cornette says. Marco Stunt. Paul White, so, you know, he'll go ahead and we'll have Big White have his interview with Tony Schiavone. The AEW Eliminator Tournament Final. So we'll go ahead and we'll see who wins there to take on Shida at the pay-per-view. And then we have Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver, and Allen, 5 Angels. So you got the whole Dark Order taking on Matt Hardy, Isaiah Cassidy, Mark Quinn, Angelico, and Jack Evans. So that'll be a hell of a match. Chris Jericho and MJF have their press conference for the tag titles. Should be funny, so long as they're not singing and dancing. And Dark Order's 10 is taking on Max Caster, and that's a qualifying match for the ladder match at Revolution, the Face of the Revolution match. So Ryo Mizunami, she will face the winner of whoever won tonight's Thunder Rosa and Nyla Rose match. I believe Thunder Rosa won, but I'm not sure. I have to go ahead and check out the results. If someone in the chat knows it, go ahead and let me know. But no, Michael Sanks Jr., I didn't see that. I'm sorry to hear that your grandfather passed on Sunday. I'm very sorry to hear that. But hopefully he's not in pain anymore. Obviously, you know, he's in a better place. And I know you said your mother was with him, so at least some family got to be there, thankfully. But I am sorry for your loss. Honestly, absolutely. Yeah, like I said, this AEW pay-per-view, our Dynamite night seems kind of like a mini pay-per-view. They're trying to make a big deal out of their go-home show for Revolution. Revolution is certainly a good card. I'm curious to see what we get built for Fastlane in the meantime. Do we see something happen, as we mentioned before, with Bobby Lashley possibly taking on, a Lesnar at Mania, or is it Drew McIntyre? We don't know. There's certainly some things to look forward to, but even with Lashley winning tonight, it still wasn't that great of a night. And I go ahead and I give Raw, as I said before, a sad 3.5 out of 10. Guys, thank you all so much. Make sure you check out patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show for 30 extra hours of bonus content every month. That's right. Shows like this and things you're not normally used to hearing, like the Jake and Joe podcast. And so many more great shows on there you don't want to miss. Different tiers you could be a part of. We have a bunch of amazing $25 producers who keep the show running. A lot of benefits, so don't miss out. Go ahead and check out the Patreon. Make sure you subscribe down below. Hit the like button. And I hope you all stay sexy. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon enough. Follow Joe on Twitter, @JCS Commentary. I'm Jake, once again, @Countdown Ending at Twitter. I love you all. Stay sexy. Have a great night.